Here you go, camera girl. Film me for a second. Ever since I saw the Superfly, a Sync FPV showing the Superfly.
It is very, very stiff. Absolutely no give in any of the screw holes. Super tight. Get it right, get it right, get it tight. This comes in at 714 grams. I loved it.
I thought it was such a beautiful drone. 5 inches, they look beautiful. But the sub 250 category doesn't get that much love, so I wanted to kind of bring this kind of stuff to the sub 250 category. This is basically one of my first 5 inches that I'm really happy with, that we're making fun too. I call it Le Push, the frame. This is the bubblegum edition. We got a HD0 loop light, and we're testing out a 45 amp all-in-one. We're about to go to the races. I put a 95% motor output limit. We're gonna see if this blows up the all-in-one or if we're okay. Let's go. But wait, let's just put it on the scale. Take a minute, stick it on the scale and see how much it weighs. Oh, only 109 grams. Okay, so here we are. We're slicing through this a little bit quick. So this is what happens when you use right-hand polarized antennas when it's supposed to be left-handed. I don't know if you saw it, like cut out. It wasn't that great. It's really weird what you see in the goggles versus what I'm seeing in the replay, because I feel like what I saw in the goggles was a little bit worse. Like it would fly over here. And did we lose the drone? Yeah, I think we lost. And we lost the drone, and then I was getting this heat stuff and whatever. And now we're doing a decent pack. So here we're watching a decent pack. Now remember, this is my first time flying this drone. And the overall experience, this flew really, really nice. And I am enjoying it. Later on, we're going to be looking at a different setup that I did not expect to do as good as it did. What I found with the 2207s, they are very power hungry, and I understand a little bit more that you do need a bigger battery. Also, like, this is crazy. Like, I have the propellers as tight as they possibly can be, so they get into the feed and they get in the way, and they remind me of those, you know, those glasses that ravers wear that have like the blinds in front of them. It's like that's what happens when you're flying. And the flight times, I guess if you go gentle, you can get like 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, see, I would cut out again there. I cut out a few times from the HD0, like the footage, like it went blank on me, and then I just disarmed so that would go. So this drone has already taken a few hits, and I felt like I dinged up the motor a little and I bent it back. So we're okay. But the overall experience with these things, like, even though it's not that heavy compared to, it's like about half the weight of that Superfly that I showed you earlier. But when you turn, there's all this weight that you have to manage, and I'm not used to managing that weight. So I think people that have been in 5 inches from before, they are used to managing that weight, so they like it. Whereas for me, it just, like, it feels a little bit fat. Like, it just feels a little bit heavy. I like the way the 3.5 is like weightless, not even floaty, but just so responsive. And then with this, it's like it's heavier. The battery doesn't last as long, and it's scary. Like, it's just, I find it a little bit scary. I'm just not used to it. What else did I want to mention? There were other things that wanted to be mentioned. Yeah, okay. We are using a 45 amp all-in-one, so I was scared of that too. I had a stack, and I didn't realize that the stack was only 30 amps, and I'm like, these motors are going to blow up the stack. So then my buddy got a drone, and he was going to come. I have a video coming up about him soon too. Nick was going to come to the races. He got a 5-inch drone, and then he didn't end up. He tried practicing, but he couldn't get through the race on Velocidrone. And then I'm just like, that all-in-one that he had, at a 45 amp all-in-one, the drone he had, I'm just like, oh, I could use it on this, and then I could take my 30 amp stack and stick it on there and win-win. But he's just like, I'm never going to fly it. It's not my thing. So he gave it to me, and now I did the swap and was able to make this fly and that fly. I have a 95% motor output limit on it, and I think it could handle them anyways. So it was a neat test to be able to see that like an all-in-one is fine on the motors. And I pushed it, I full throttled. I didn't do any turtling or anything.
I like turtles.
But I'm pretty confident in it. It felt pretty good. It worked. And now we're just feeling it out, seeing how it feels and doing some stuff. But the next flights, I'm pretty excited to share some things. We got a few more little flippy floppies, but I love that the lock didn't feel, even on a bigger drone. I hate when like you turn and it wobbles. I like it to be very exact. And even with the 1050s, it feels heavy. The moment I put the 930s on it, it felt way better. And I think some of these flights are, yeah, these flights are with the 930 GNBs. And we got some brand new dog comms that I'm so excited to use at the races. So we're going to find out like what we can get away with on the smaller size and on the larger. Like what's the smallest battery that we can get away with? And that's kind of like what I think.
Okay, so I built this Hyperlight. It's a Pyrodrone Hyperlight. I built a new top plate because the top plate was cracked. We're just going to test it out. I've never tried 2004s. It's pretty light. I think it'll fly good, but we'll see. I'm at a park I've never been to before.
Okay, so this was the big surprise for me. I was just really, really surprised and shocked at how good this felt, because I was just like, it's gonna be flimsy, it's gonna be too floaty or whatever. And it is a little bit floaty, but the thing that's amazing with this drone is how long it flies. So this is our first flight, and we get 6 minutes of flight time. Like just so I'm just with the other setup, I'm actually worried about being able to get through the race and really like, I can't do full throttle like the racers do, but I think that the future will be more like this. I think people are going to be flying lighter, faster, nimbler drones, because there's that power and torque, but that power and torque doesn't really help you with turning. Like you know, pilots know how to like manage their quad and how to fling it around turns and like overcompensate for that weight. But I think as the hobby progresses, we're going to have lighter quads. They're going to be lighter, stronger. We're going to have better batteries and everything's, I wanted to go through those things, but it was in an enclosed thing. And as like sketchy as I am or whatever, I don't like to take risks that involve not getting my quad back. But yeah, this was my first time flying this thing, and it just felt amazing. I thought that I wanted the smallest motors that I could fit that had the 16 millimeter mountings, but these are 12 millimeter M2 mountings. So it allows you to get the build really light. And this is another thing that I was really excited with 5-inch, to be able to try all the different propellers. Like it's a weird thing, but you go to the 3.5, there's like one propeller I like, and we have 3D propellers soon that we're going to be testing. We just got a sponsorship with Gemfan, so really happy for that. Really excited to just beat the crap out of everything and push harder because we don't have to worry about those anymore. But these are the proxy props. And I really believe there is the best prop for each thing you're doing, for each person, the way that it feels. But the like the HQ 3.5, 2.5 pitch for the 3.5 are my absolute favorite props. And now for 5-inch, I am loving these proxy props. And even from comparing the Gemfan Hurricanes and going from the Hurricanes to these proxy props, they just feel really good. They just grab the air better. And I'm starting to feel like more confident flying this little thing. So when I fly the 5-inch on the 2702s, there's all this power, there's all this weight, and the turning is not on a dime. There's lots of like pre-turning that you have to do. But when you fly this thing, this is 204s, around 20,000 kV, and this, yeah, 6S, and this is on the 930 GNB 6S batteries. But I'm really excited to use the 850 150C dog comms because they're even lighter. And this thing just, it feels like it has the power of the 2207s. Like it has all that power and speed. And I'm flying at a low angle here. I didn't put a high angle on this one because I just wanted to like try it out and feel it. But it has all the responsiveness, like all that agility that a 3.5 has. Or at least you have to understand, I'm flying light. I used to fly the 3.5 with 850 batteries, and lots of the reviewers would recommend those big batteries. Oh, just one sec, pause. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Long day, very long day. Stuff, lots of stuff. Got Avery a little bag she could put all her FPV stuff in. So that doesn't have to be like all everywhere. We're all about organization. And that's a beautiful little bag that she can fit her little stuff in.
Matthew, what are you doing to my house? The house better be clean when you leave on Saturday morning.
Or it'll be so clean.
It better be.
So clean.
Absolutely not acceptable.
3, 2, okay. And then we'll come back. I forget what I was saying. 3, 2, 1, and boom. I lost my train of thought because Mama came in. But basically, with the frame La Push, I still have it that will be compatible with the 2207s. But after this flight, it made me, I'm going to basically make another version of La Push that has the 12mm mounts that can handle the 2004s, because this, if I'm flying 5-inch, this is what I want to be flying. I feel like this is exactly what, you know, people talk about, oh, 5-inch flies so good and whatever. Like, I think this setup weighed down a little bit with a GoPro, naked GoPro, is just so much agility, so much power, so responsive. Also, I noticed like the picture looked great. So I was using the HD0 box goggles. My buddy let me borrow them for the races and whatever. And just the picture was so good. And I don't think it was the goggles, though. I think it may have actually been the true RC antenna on it. So maybe super expensive antennas are worth it. Like, I think this is like a $30 antenna. So if that makes the difference in having analog video that's like that clean, and we'll find out at the races if the video stays nice and clean. But I've never had like the feed. Oh, you saw that. It's had like 6-minute flight time. And now I'm showing a buddy FPV for the first time. And okay, go back and fix that. Yeah, no, I'm showing my buddy FPV for the first time. And we're flying around. But yeah, the feed on this just looks excellent. It's one of the cleanest analog feeds I've ever had. So tell me your favorite antennas and if you've noticed a big difference, because I've been experimenting with a lot of cheaper antennas, and this kind of makes me want to just, you know, spend the money, get the more expensive antenna if it means that your picture is going to be that clean, because this is just a beautiful experience. Like, to me, this is just as good as the HD0, and the HD0 flickering always drives me nuts anyways. So we got stuck in a tree. And that's another thing that's cool. With the 3.5, you're not getting out of that tree, but with the 5, you can kind of like chop your way out of the tree. and then I got some dirt on the lens, but we were still able to keep going, and we didn't break the frame. My buddy had to tell me where to go, so I had my observer. My observer was like, "You're going the wrong way. No, go that way." I was like, "Okay." And we made it back, and that was wonderful. It was a fun experience. Subscribe, smash the like button.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!